I'm very happy. All right. Welcome to the probably very short April meeting of the node provisioning, node bootstrapping working group of the Cluster API project. Cluster API is a CNCF project, and as a working group of that project, we adhere to the CNCF code of conduct. Basically, be nice to each other. It's just the two of us, Matt and I, today. And I'm gonna share the agenda real quick. Hey, here we go. Share. Johanna left a few updates asynchronously, which is a great way to leave updates, if you ask me. And I'm just going to go through them. I wanted to check the KubeVirt PR first. It went through another round of reviews when we last checked in March. And
It's merged now, I think, right?
yay! Awesome. That's amazing. Yeah, that's cool. That's the one. Very good. That's good stuff. Okay, good to know. So I can take that, mark that as done. And that's kind of something I really enjoy when working with open source projects in general, that you just, you don't just have a goal, you basically participate and you improve the infrastructure. So that's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it turned out to be a pretty significant PR, and it was just because Johanna needed a way to test things.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that is open source right there.
exactly. Cool, all right. And we gained KubeVirt support along the way. We did like a teeny tiny bit on the infrastructure side to build KubeVirt flatcar images. And so we are there as well.
Oh,
And
cool.
that's nice. All right. Before I go through the asynchronous updates that Johanna shared, do you have any updates from your end, Matt?
I really don't. I haven't had, I mean, I've been, I saw what Johanna posted, and I remember his update from last time, but I haven't really had a chance to check in on any of the code.
Gotcha. Well, if you have any spare cycles, I think he'll be gone for a short while. So if you need like a little bit of quiet time to work yourself into that, here's your chance.
That was my idea. Yeah, well, things are somewhat settled. I can try and catch up, and so
Awesome.
hopefully I will next week.
Awesome. Yeah, it's not gonna, I think there won't be any movement on these PRs in the next weeks. All right. So there's the main, let's say, playground where we're making major changes and trying to separate away from what we call kubeadm Cloud Init, which is basically the kubeadm Bootstrap provider. Johanna had a few questions regarding duplicate code there and whether things could be made a library and importable. And I think this is what he was working on here. Um, so that might be supplemental.
Hmm.
Okay, let's have a quick look. Yeah, that looks like
Yeah.
he started to work on the provider abstraction there, and then there's reusable bootstrap. I had an interesting conversation with K0S folks on the
Oh, yeah.
Flatpak booth at KubeCon. And so they have their own, they like their full kind of Cluster API provider, right? And currently they're only supporting Ignition. And they could like there could be like a probable next kind of step in this project, like very long term, down the road, when we can make this work with the kubeadm provider, because they don't have kubeadm, they have a single binary that does everything, right? K0S. And so they were very interested in checking out Flatcar in Cluster API. We already support it natively, but not in Cluster API yet. All right.
So they're using Ignition, but not through.
No. They're using Cloud Init. I think they
Oh,
just
okay.
use the stock Cluster API stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and hopefully these two PRs are still relevant because like as they were saying yesterday at Cappy, a lot of this stuff in particular in Cappy main has been heavily refactored.
Yeah.
So hopefully it doesn't destroy all of this.
I mean, as far as I understand now, it's only a test bed, anyways, like a playground of ideas.
Yeah,
So it might just be necessary to discard the current ideas and then jump on discard the current implementation and take the same ideas and jump on the new code and then go
yeah,
ahead there. But
yeah.
this is worth mentioning. Yeah, Fabrizio mentioned that yesterday. I remember. What was that? V1 beta 10?
V1 beta 2 or the V1 11. Yeah. Well, okay, they're linked. Yeah, it's going to be the new API V1 beta 2 that's going to arrive in Cappy V1 11. But it sounds like most of the refactoring has already landed in main. So uh, probably a smart strategy. I mean, Johanan can decide, but probably a smart strategy is to wait a few more weeks until the dust really settles,
Yeah,
and then, yeah, then take a look and see whether it's possible to rebase it or whether we should kind of start over, fork again, like you were suggesting. But I'm assuming it's Johanan stuff is based on a time somewhat before that,
yeah,
because this
yeah,
just happened. Yeah.
yeah. All right, cool. I will take the liberty and put a to-do for you to work into the main PR if that's okay.
Yes, please.
Awesome. Cool. All right, really, really a short one today. Anything else we should discuss?
Nothing I could think of.
Cool.
All
Then
right.
enjoy your time and see you in May.
Yeah. Thanks, Tilo. See you soon.
Bye.